Okay, in this, sorry, in this lesson we're going to look at how to add, subtract, and then divide radicals. Okay, so I meant to go ahead and have these up here for you, and I forgot. So let me put this up here really quick. You always want to have a list of perfect squares, at least two squared through 10 squared, just to kind of be staring at as we go along. Okay, now to add and subtract, they have to be like terms, and we talked about that in our last video. Okay. So I'm good here. To be like terms, they have to be both square root of the same thing. So these are both square roots of 2. And so all you have to do is put the coefficients together. 3 minus 5 is a negative 2, square root of 2. And I'm not going to be able to simplify the square root of 2. That's easy. Unfortunately, we don't get that kind. We get the kind like number 2, where you want to add and subtract those, and they are clearly not like terms. Okay? So what I want you to do is leave the outsides alone, and we're just going to fix the inside numbers, okay? And then we'll worry about those x's and y's, okay? All right, so 18. What perfect square goes into 18? That's going to be 9. 9 times 2. Now, when you take out the square root of 9, it comes out as a 3, right? If there's something already outside, then they multiply together. 12, and then I've got a square root of 2. Okay, but I also have some x's and y's. All right, so we need to half those or divide them by 2. So 2 goes into the exponent 2 one time with none less. That tells me 1x out. And what's the exponent on the y? Can I do 2 into 1? No. So if you can't divide it, it's going to just be stuck on the inside. All right, now let's do the 50. What perfect square is going into 50 over here? Well, it's going to be 25 times 2. So square root of 25 comes out as a 5, and it multiplies with what you've got on the front, so that's a negative 15x. Okay, and then the 2's left underneath. And am I going to be able to pull that y out again? No, so I'm going to write that closer. And the y is going to stay on the inside. Okay, now are these like terms? Yes, they're both square roots of 2y, so you can put the front together. 12x minus 15x is a negative 12x, sorry. Not 2. 12x minus 15x is a negative 3x on the square root of 2y. Okay, so you have to get them to be like terms. Let's look at the next ones. Alright, so squares. Again, that's going to be 4, 9, 16, 25, 36, 49, 64, 81, and 100. Sorry, I meant to have those up there, but I didn't. Alright, so if we look at number 3, you got a square root of 12, square root of 27, and square root of 96. None of them match. Okay, so what you're going to do is make the insides blank. Okay, and let's see if we can't get them to be like terms. Alright, so my first number is 12. What perfect square is the biggest perfect square that goes into 12? And that's going to be 4. 4 times 3. Let's go ahead and do them all. 27. 27 is going to be 9 times 3. Okay, 96. If you don't know it off the top of your head, what you'll do is take your calculator, divide it by 4, divide it by 9, divide it by 16, until you find the biggest one, and it is 16 times 6. Okay. Alright, so let's pull what we can out. Square root of 4 comes out as a 2. Square root of 9 comes out as a 3. Square root of 16 comes out as a 4. And so they multiply with what's already on the front. So I get 4 square roots of 3 minus 3 square roots of 3 plus 12 square roots of 6. Now out of those, do I have any like terms? Yep. These two are both square roots of 3 and put them together. So I get 1 square root of 3 plus 12 on the square root of 6. I can't go any further than that. Okay. Alright, so for this next one, oh, I didn't have to erase it because we don't have to simplify it. They're all cube roots of 5, so you just put the numbers in front together. So what is 4 minus 2? It's 2. 2 plus 10 would give me 12 cube roots of 5. All right, now we're dividing. Okay, so to divide, all you're going to do is keep the square root, and you're going to divide out the inside. Okay, and I'm going to need my squares again. All right. So here we go. Divide out the inside. 200 divided by 2 is 100. All right, that is x to the third over x. So what do you do with your exponents when you're dividing? You subtract them. So I get x squared, and I get y to the 4 minus 1 or 3. Okay. Now, normally we try to split the 100 and say what perfect square goes into 100, but 100 is on my list. 100 is a perfect square. Square root of 100 is what? 10 comes out. All right, now let's deal with our x's and y's. We divide it by 2. Well, that tells me that, 1x comes out, none left. All right, let's do our 3. So 2 into 3 goes 1 time with 1 left. So it tells me 1y out, 1y in. All right, and let's do this one. We're going to divide it together. 60 divided by 5. Okay. What is 60 divided by 5? 12. Okay, I knew that. 12. And then what do you immediately notice this one has in it? Sorry, my brain's working slow today. All right, what do you notice about this problem? It has that negative exponent. So we learned about this at the very beginning. Can you have them? No. So if it's on the bottom, you're going to move it to the top. Or remember, you subtract your exponents, so you get 5 minus a negative 2. So it changes it to x to the 7th. Okay. All right, so now we are ready to simplify this. So what's the biggest perfect square that goes into 12? Oh, it's going to be 4. So that's 4 times 3, and that comes out as a 2. All right, and let's see how many x's can come out. So divide 2 into 7, I would get 3 times with 1 left. So 3 x's out, 1 x in. And then we have this last one. It's just dividing with the cubes. Let me put up my cubes here. 2 cubed is 8, 3 cubed is 27, 4 cubed is 64, and 5 cubed is 125. I wouldn't say that you would need any more than that. Alright, so we would divide them. 32 divided by 2 is 16. And if you subtract your exponents, you'd say 10 minus 2 would give me x to the 8th. Alright, so let's split it. That cube, perfect cube, goes into 16, and that's going to be 8. 8 times 2. Okay, and then the cube root of 8 is 2. And we leave the other 2 inside. And then remember, for a cube, you divide your exponents by what? 3. So that tells me 2x is out, 2x is in. Go practice your homework.